Hello, it's Steve Pendlebury here from Steve Pendlebury's Vintage Radio Longsdale Workshop. I'm seeing we're on a vintage radio American kick at the moment, or rather world kick. I thought we'd have a look at this. I've got two of these actually. I've got them from Gorbon. They're Champion radios. I don't know quite how they could read in Britain, but it's very much an American design, as you can see. And these sets are different in that they are TRF. Basically, there's no IF. It's basically volume control works on the IF side of it, and on the RS side of it. They amplifies, demodulates, and give you a signal. It's simple as that. They don't work as well as as Superhertz, obviously, but they do work. And like I said, I've got two to sort out. So let's have a go. Let's have a see and see what happens. Because I like to just plug things in here, as you know. So we'll do that. The other set, by the way, I can't do anything with yet because it's not got a plug on it. And the guy who sold me these at Gorbon said, you'll make one out of two. Well, maybe, but he might work that way. I could not possibly comment. Now, there are a few of these radios knocking about with different valves in. So I think this has the BAT U series valves in them. That's UL41. UY41, that sort of arrangement. So I think therefore that it'll have a dropper. Now we do in fact on this have a lead that is legal, so that's one thing in its favour, unlike the set we had just now. And also it's appears to be complete, and so I thought, well, let's plug it in and see what it does, if anything, because once we know what it does, we know what we're aiming for, which is getting it working. But you know, I like to get a benchmark if possible before we go any further. It's just me. I'll just plug this in and see what goes bang, basically. I know there are people who think that's a bad way to go about it, but particularly with valve equipment, I don't like bringing them up on the Vairach unless I really have to, because until the valves start to light up enough and start to pass current, there's no way contested like capacitors anyway. So there really is no way to do it that way. So you know, I like to just put them straight in the mains and see what goes wallop or bang, which is what we're going to do here. There we are. It's on. Let's check, make sure that's on, right? Nothing. 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 And of course nothing. Okay, well in that case we'll that goes up full, and that's okay. So obviously something is a little bit awry here. So now American sets this kind, one thing which I do find is everybody British sets, and that's that the speaker is attached to the radio rather than attached to the chassis, which is better in a number of ways. So you know, that's something which we need to think about here. I'll get my feet wet. So we'll pull the chassis out. There's a wire off there. Okay. I think that might be part of the problem. I think this has been played with, to be honest with you, but the valves seem to be in the right place. But obviously we've got to check all that before we go anywhere else. So there's a quick look in the back for anyone who's interested. There we are, and we'll take the set out of the case if we can, and take these out too. Like that. Take the out too. And the set should come out of the case. By the way, I noticed it's wood at the top here rather than certain other things which are not good for us. So that's that again is in our favour. Because some of the sets do have asbestos in them, including this one. I've noticed that the dropper here is disconnected and is full of asbestos, so better with that out of the way, don't you think? And so let's have a look and see. Let's have a look and see what happens under here. I'll just bring you in a bit so you can see. So under the chassis here, we've got the rectifier valve, which is here. That's the output pentole there, and these are the other two. They're not frequency changer, but they're two pentoles, so obviously they need to be looked at as well. Well, next, but what else? Well, that better come off. It's the across the line cap, I think, so it's you know. But off out of the way. Yeah. There's not a lot needs to be has been done to this apart from up top there, so I think we've not got too much to do here. Next thing we'll look at is whether is which is oh, it's clever. A lot of these American sets in particular tied the chassis to deck, tied negative to the switch to deck. So even when these are switched off, the inside could in this case will be live. So that's first thing we need to sort out is why it's sort that out at some stage. Which we have to do. So if we now therefore take that off there for now, I'm not plugging this in for a while, I'll tell you. Really technically I shouldn't have plugged it in straight away, but I was doing because I'm like that. Therefore, with the switch, on the on or switch in the on position, like that, there should be, that should go, it does, okay, fine, okay. Right, now the other side of it, here, yeah. Run there, thank you very much. And we'll see, we'll look at, that's going to come off. Look at what is wanted here. So that must go to, I think, it does, yeah, okay, to there. Let's see what that says. 220, that's about alright. And these two here must go to the valves. So one of these should have a voltage on it, sorry, a resistance on it, and I hope. So one of these should have a resistance on it. It doesn't, I don't think. I'll just we'll take a bit off here and check. Not for coming, is it? And this one here. Okay. Okay. Well, one of these should go to the output valve. Or one of these should go to the switch on. And switch it to switch, which it doesn't appear to want to do. And this one doesn't go anywhere either. Hang on, what's that? What's that doing? With these sets, one of the first things that you is short check the on off switch. It's actually switching neutral, and I prefer to switch live because, of course, then when it's off, and no part of the set apart from there is got anything on it but the switch itself. But I must say at this point that I always use these things with a strip and never run them if you're not in the room, but just in case that, I'll do this anyway. The valves are okay. I know this because if I go to deck, like that, you see, and I go to there like that, you see, it goes to about it goes 2 voltage. It goes 2 voltage. I'll just find it what a voltage should be. £167 ohms. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that there won't be problems with like heater cathode shorts and such like, but the heater chain is okay, so that's one thing. Now, because this had resisted drop ring which was faulty and also had asbestos in it, that is now out. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get the circuit, check the valves in it are the correct ones, and for this particular radio, and then from there I will work out the value of a capacitive dropper and put that in, or possibly a diode dropper. I don't know yet on that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4 valves, yeah. So add up all the heater voltages and take it from there. This is the circuit of the radio in question, and it's a TRF set. You can see there were no IFTs on it anywhere. But also there were 2 other things. First of all, the switch you see there, switch is negative. I've changed that now, so switch is positive. And so, with it the right way around, which it will be because the cable is right for that, then switch here means that the thing will be completely dead. Okay, that's one thing. The valves, by the way, UY41, UL41, UF42, UF41. Now, they add up to 110 volts, which means, therefore, there might be an even easier way of getting the voltage right on this without that resistor there, which I've taken it because it was in pieces and there's asbestos attached to it, so off it went. Now then, AC waveforms are of course a sine wave, positive and negative. Yeah, I'll just draw it out for you so you can see. Now AC is a sine wave, plus, minus, yeah, alternating current, yeah. And here it's 240 volts. Some places it's 230, but here it's something like 239, so I call it 240, yeah. Now, if we put a diode in the way, only half of that gets through. So it gets 100, so it halves it straight away to about 120 volts, yeah, which is more or less what the valves should be, on 120, 110, about there. So therefore, if we put a diode in, the valves should actually work fine like that. So that's what we're going to do here now. So I'm going to put a diode in and we'll see what it does. If it works, great. If it doesn't, then I was humiliated on camera. Right, the diode is now gone in place. And now if I was to do that, by the way, first of all, it didn't do anything because of my bad soldering, but that's me. So now, of course, if we go there, 106 volts on this meter. And the other side, mains voltage. So that diode is dropping it to something in the area, which is pretty much fine, you know. So now we've got a problem with that. Now, but there doesn't seem to be anything else. So if I was to take the power off and go underneath like that, there's a capacitor which of course needs to be changed on all radios. I'm not changing it on this, so I think that is our next port of call, don't you? So on the input to the it's there. Okay, it's there. So not there. So next thing we do, go to deck again and measure the voltage there. 0.04. It's not 46 there, only 46 there, 0.04. That's not too bad actually. 0.047. Now that looks as though it might be okay, but it is a Hunt's capacitor, so I will change it anyway, just to make sure it is right. And then from that, we'll try again, and then of course we're going back to the other side of it. Also, I'll make sure that the EF41 and EF42, EF41 and 42 are in the right places. But so far, that appears to be doing something. Also, very quickly, I will see what the HT is on the 8-put valve. So it should be something on, I don't know, somewhere like there. .76 there, okay. Okay, so 85 volts there. It doesn't suggest a right lot. And so there's 77 there. And 89 there. Now with these also PRS sets, the volume control here works on the front end, so if I turn it down, you still get any problems with the outputters. You can't turn it down and see if it still gets the hum. So what I'll do is I'll snip that there. Thank you very much. You're leaving us, mate. And we'll try again. And we'll see what it's like there now. You see, if I turn that right down, so that is basically the front end. So the capacitors I think in this are okay, but I'm not 100% sure about that valve, the rectifier, because 80, that voltage is rather low in my humble opinion. I'll just check again to make sure. On again, there we go, and hopefully it'll work. I'll put that where you can see it. There we are. And that's there's very little does that actually. No, nor does that. So that's okay. So where's the HT gone? It's there. It's 90.9. That is probably quite low. Now, if that's low, then it won't get very much. So it might be a case of the valve itself being past its best. So I'll get one to sub in and we'll see what happens then. The valve was actually okay. The resistor on the anode side of it was meant to be 150 ohms. That was in it, and that read about 2k, whatever that was, so out it came. And with that out, the voltages on the rectifier, and indeed all the valves, now seem to be okay. So now of course we change water capacitors and we're fit to go. With the certain capacitor change, this one here of course, it works rather well actually, as you can hear. This is TRF by the way. So there you are, that is. This is medium wave only by the way. The TRFs generally aren't as sensitive as superhex, but this one isn't too bad.
Yeah, I'm not going to have a go anymore. Would you say that?
That's Talk Sport. And if we go a bit further down, like that.
Our incredible charity, Globals Make Some Noise. For the price of a coffee, you could make a huge difference.
And there's Global, so there we are. Right now, the one thing with this that does worry me a little bit at this stage is that the valves seem to be overrun. Now, when the valves are overrun, generally speaking, and as many TV restorers will tell you, the person watching or listening wouldn't know it was, but the valves were out, and of course it could damage the heaters. Now, if I put this back on again now, like that, we go to 200 volts on there.
To go on and all that.
Turn that down, and I put the meter like that, you see, and switch it on. It does help. It is actually, now one side of it is mains, 240 volts. Okay, the other side of it, that is rather more than it should be, 138 volts, and it should be 110. So that is a little bit higher than it should be. 80 volts higher, in fact. So, what I've done, and I'll put it in a minute, is I've worked out what capacitor it will be. So I'm going to go down that route. Now, 110 volts at 0.3 amps here. Remember, a capacitive dropper, of course, is out of phase, but by 90 degrees of resistance. So, you know, we can't actually go 1, 2, 3 like that. We have to use things like Pythagoras system. I've done it before on the channel. It's going to be fatal. But basically, it comes out at 1.49 microfarads. Now I've got some 1.5s. I think that'll do, don't you? I certainly do. So I'll get a 1.5. We'll put it in and we'll try again. If that works, that's this one as good as finished. What I've got here now is a heater chain and one of these capacitors in these X2 caps, which will do just fine in this job. So basically, that capacitor is dropping the voltage down and not generating any heat at all. Very handy trick to know that. Now, they can take a little bit longer to warm up, as you'll hear in a minute, but that is not a problem, because there you are, you see.
I mean, it's almost like the people have no understanding and completely they're out of touch with the everyday football fan. Yeah. It's very sad.
Like I said, that is Talk Sport. There's not much on. There is a music station on medium wave or broadcast band in this area, but obviously for a couple of reasons I can't really play much of it on here, but it does come through okay, so that's okay. Anyway, now of course we've got the next job, which is putting this thing back together again. And as I'm very fond of saying, as I've said many times, a radio apart and radio together are two completely different things. Believe me, they are. This is the worst of the two, and it works fine now, as you can hear. I can't put the part put that on for too long, but there we go.
Not having enough prominence. And Billy Ocean, man, the great Billy Ocean. Love Really Hurts Without You from 1976. Year I was born. Boney M.
This one is finished and done. So no, but I just tighten that club a bit more because I'm not, you know. There we go. So this one is finished and done. So therefore, I shall take this one away and go and get the other one. And this is the other one of the two. This one with the cabinet in much better condition actually, but I can't just plug it in for a very simple reason. Let's turn it round so you can see. The cable has been locked off there. So at this point, I wonder what has caused what it is with this set that goes that way. I'm going to find out. 784 doesn't say what one it is, but I've got all three of those sets here, so I'm not too fussed about that. I'll look at one way or the other. But this is going to be possibly the interesting one for that reason. So back comes off. There's the aerial. Come on out, there you go. There, the back can go out the way down there. And let's have a look and see what we've got. Well, first of all, the valves seem to be have been modified somewhat in some way. That is not in the right place. I don't know what that is the input pentacle at the back there. That again should be a UL41. That and that, I don't know. So obviously somebody would be in between us, and as shall we say, played around. So in this scenario, first thing we do, set out the case and have a good look round to make sure there's nothing really bad happened here, because when you get set like this, I've got one actually coming up that has actually been come to me without any valves, so don't know quite what's up there. So I'll go through things to check, and that's it. But in a situation like this, then something has obviously happened to the radio. So I'll take the cabinet away and we'll have a look and make some checks before we even consider putting this anywhere near mains, which we can't do at the moment because there's no cable for it, so we can't. Set out the case, and first of all, deck. I'm checking ohms and continuity here. So first of all, that's okay. That's okay. That doesn't appear to be. So the switch is faulty for starters. That might come back with repeated use. It sometimes do, but for now we're not testing it that way. So never mind. Now the other side of it goes to here. And let's see what that comes up to, shall we? Nothing again. Nothing else again here. Okay, fine. Well, that goes to there. Okay, yeah, fine. That goes to there. That goes to there. Okay, on the other side. And it comes down here again. So either one of these valve heaters is open circuit or that resistor. So that's the first thing that we've got to have a go at. There's quite a few of these body end spot resistors in this. I don't know whether they're put in by me or somebody else. But obviously, you know, that has to be changed, that has to be changed, they have to be changed. So obviously this needs de-hunting, as it were. That's new, that, so I don't know what's happened there. That I don't know, but that might be micro. I'll leave that for now. So put this set up on its front like that, and you can see now other things that need to be checked. So first of all, that goes onto there. Okay. No second thoughts. No, I'll put that onto there. Okay, that should, it does, yeah, the other side should have on it, rather than something like 150 ohms again, which again, it doesn't, I don't think. Jumping around a lot, that actually, so I'll, yeah. Now the valve heaters, there's there, and there's there, and that again here. It's doing something anyway. Let's see what that is. 120. It goes up, disappears on me, that, so I don't know quite what. Okay, well, obviously capacitor in line somewhere with that, because it's what it's doing. I'll go the other way just to prove a point. Okay. .22. Okay, so it's 1.2k. Okay, so that obviously is 1.2k. Okay, and the other one. Let's have a look at the circuit and see what we've got here, shall we? And look at which one it is first of all, because at this point I don't really know. That is the wrong. That is not the right valve for there, so that has got to come out. This again, I think I will probably take out and put a 1.5 microfarad dropper in its place. This I don't know, but before we do anything else, let's make sure that the heater is up. The output transformer is okay on it. That's the next thing. So something is failed on this fridge be like this. So there's something, and it might well be the output transformer here, but judging by this, because there's nothing on this at all here. Absolutely no diddly squat. So that goes on to there again. I'll check and make sure that you know, and check, you know. But it look very much here as though this transformer here looks to be open circuit. Now an open circuit output transformer of this kind here can be a problem, and it can be a problem because of the way a pentode is constructed. I think I think I've made this quite plain before, but if we look at a pentode valve like this one here, any one of them actually, but that's the output one there. Yeah, hang on, I'll just go in a bit so we can see. Now my pentode here has 3 grids, yeah? Power supply comes in there, through the transformer to there. So if that coil is open circuit there, transformer circuit, then of course there will be no volts on the anode of the pentode here, which is a UY541 on this, or should be. However, there will be voltage coming down here to there, and so what will happen, it will try and current flow through there rather than through there, so the pentode will actually be very quiet, as in no sound, triode, and it might not last all that long in that situation, because of course that is the anode, but because the current is there, and that just holds, is held in place for making it work, as is that one there, you see. So that is a problem, is that. So from there, therefore, we know that okay, so if we go to the valve now, there'll be nothing there. There'll be nothing there if I power it up, which again I'm not going to do. No way Jose on that, you know. But so that goes on to there like that again. Again, I'll check that. I'm on 2 megs here, so you know it should say something. And it says absolutely no. It says that is open circuit. If that is open circuit there, I'm going to check again like that to make sure. That's open circuit, and that transformer's knackered. Fair enough, that transformer's knackered. But of course, with that transformer knackered, you can't really power the set because, of course, that valve there, the output pentode, will fail in relatively short order. There are a few things which kill a pentode. One, of course, is that. The other one, of course, is that capacitor, of course, on the grid. That does not go in there. Hopes it comes, but does it? It's a UF something. EBC4. Oh, don't set that one's in. Okay, so yeah. So that's up circuit, no problem. I've probably got something that will go in there without too much trouble. That'll have to come out. That's, I don't know as of yet. Well, I'll look at that better when this comes out. And from there, well, it's back to it. It's, yeah, exactly, yeah. So this one is obviously not the happiest, part of the book, is it? So yeah. So anyway, we know that that's okay. The rest of it, I don't know at this stage. There's no IFTs, so there's no problem there. So yeah. So I've got various things to do before I start applying power to this, so let's get on with it. Well, the first thing I did was the on-off switch, which is now working. I doused it in cleaner and back and forth several hundred times with the pliers here, and it now works, as you can see. If I was to put that onto there like that, because it goes to ground, and of course to there. As you can hear, hang on a sec, it's now working. So that's one thing sorted. Now the rest of it, I'm going to take off the output transformer because it's knackered. The valves, heaters are okay. I've got a UL and a UI in there now. That's okay. The dropper was okay, but with it being full of asbestos, I'm going to anyway put the 1.5 microfarad dropper in like before, and run the valves that way. And then when the valves are running, I will look at the output transformer and these things here. One of which, by the way, does appear to have a hole in it, so I think it better come out. Now, whether you're working on a radio, a tape recorder, a TV set, anything, you must have a plan of attack. Yeah, I've already told you it. PAIR, P-A-I-R, or in this case P-A-R, PAIR, because there's no IF on this. Said I don't like golf, but you see, with something like this, there are actually two power supplies. There's one for the valves and one for the HT. Yeah. Now I've taken the grid capacitor off for it's going to be changed anyway. But first thing I'm going to do is make this switch live rather than neutral. Yeah. That is because the neutral goes to us directly, and these and the chassis will then all be to the neutral. It's not a problem that way now. It might be before. In the day, actually, with these, things weren't as safety conscious as they are now. So not many were killed, but I think it's best to have the chassis at or very, very, very near to neutral. It'll be at neutral in this case. It's very important that you do that. Okay, so what we're going to do, first of all, on-off switch and in your mains cable, which is here. Okay, taken off something, you always keep your mains cables, use them again, and then of course I will of course put a 1.5 microfarad capacitor in like before, and also the volume control has to be on these sets, otherwise you won't do it won't do anything. So that has to be without fail, will fail. On this one actually the earth goes to earth from the volume control, and this is and that we're same bit of wire. So I'm going to earth that here. Okay. So like I said, so a lot of these things we did on the previous set, so you know, there we are. But hopefully at that point we would have HT and LT. As far as an output transformer goes, I'll find one. Okay, I'll find one. Right, the first stage of this job for me will be the on-off switch, which I'll put the right way around now, so it now switches live rather than neutral, so the deck is earth when everything is switched on or off. But like I said, never put one of these sets on and leave it and go out of the room, because they're old, you know, and they're better safe than sorry. But anyway, the switch is now working. And also I've taken out the asbestos resistor, and I've put that in its place, which is a 1.5 microfarad capacitor, like before, like the other one. So now, if I was to do this, yeah, we should see the thing lighting, slowly starting to light up. So just turn it round slightly so maybe you can see. Now what happens is, of course, is that this system brings heaters up gradually, actually, rather than just on, and so it takes a few minutes to warm up, which is okay, because of course it is easier on the valves, which is also a good thing. So now, if I was to place the meter to AC, 200 volts, for example, yeah, I'll put it where you can see it, something like there, you see. No, now, to deck, therefore now, we should have two 40 volts there, and we do. Okay. Now, the other way around, of course, the heater side of it goes onto here. It's not 110 volts. Actually, it's a little bit low, that actually. I'll try the pin. There we are. 88.2. That's a little bit low, that. But these are the other tolerance on them, so this might be a bit lower than the previous one. So I might put another one across it to bring it up a bit. But if you look down here, like that. If you look down here, the valves are actually lit. What I will do that is actually turn it up so it's over, so you can actually see. There's the chassis, like that, and that's got to come off, obviously. And what happens now we see is these valves do in fact light up, like it's supposed to do. So that is as it should be. I see as well as that they're also it's in warm as well, so they are in fact lighting up. So there you are. So the valve features are lit, so that part of it is sorted. Now, as far as the HT is concerned, I'm not going to put anything on the HT side of it until I've found a replacement for that transformer, and of course taking that out. So that's the next thing we do, is take that out and find something to go in its place. That's the next port of call, as it were. Well, what I've done here now is I've wired this back in here, 200 ohms. It's a bit high, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. videos I'll change it, but I've taken this out of circuit completely. I'm wiring an extra transformer and speaker. So let's see what happens now. It's going to take time to warm up, obviously, but we know that because, of course, the heaters are running slightly low on this, which I will sort one way or the other, possibly the other, you know. But that's after the line. So there we are. There we are. So it's it was working for a time, but it's just gone off on me. So because the doors have come off the speaker, so we know it works anyway. So that's okay for now. Yeah, the fact that we don't get the bigger leg post means that is probably okay. Okay, it's probably okay. But I think the next thing we do, like I said, is get rid of that and loop round for a transformer that will fit in that one's place there. That's the next thing we have to do. I put the replacement capacitor jig cap in underneath, and just to see if it really would actually work, and guess what?
And the impact
it does.
And what I have done,
as you will hear.
The last 5-6 years since he's been at Liverpool, if you're discussing the best players.
So there you are. It's working. But I've got a lot further to go with it. First of all, that buzzing noise is probably this capacitor here. They do go, so it's probably gone in this one. Either that or one of these valves. Probably the EL4 one has got problems because they are prone. But I'm inclined to replace that anyway in this situation. Oh, and take that off as well. And of course I've got this to do as well. So now we've basically got working radio. That's how we go and make this working radio work properly. Now at this point I've actually changed all the Hunt capacitors underneath and also taken out that resistor there. That's not off yet, but that's to come. That might be the last job or the second to last job, depending on. But I've plugged it back in now, and it will come up and it will hum in a minute. And no, I've not changed that capacitor yet, but I will if it's bad. I say I will if it's bad because it might not be, although obviously it's.
But I'm telling you now, saying I think his players would have, and certainly the player that got singled out.
The reason why I say that.
What good does he think that's going to do, Todd?
Is that this set and that one over there, it's twin, has a UL41 in them. That's this valve here, which is a bit more to take out this yet. But UL41s, hang on, I'll just, there you are, have a problem down here, you see, and it causes a cathode to grid leak inside the valve. Now this does two things. One, it can put the voltage up on the valve itself, which it hasn't done really in this case. But what it does do also is put the heater hum onto the HT line and the speaker. Yeah. Now, okay, this one has now got slightly different arrangement, but it still applies. So before I change the heaters, change capacitors there, I'm going to get another one of these and try it, because if I don't need to, then I won't, because if that is okay, then that is okay. Substitute UL41. It goes into the socket here like that, radio is plugged in, and we'll see if it hums. If it doesn't, it's this valve, this one here. If it does, it's capacitor, this one here. So let's see, shall we? In your own time, radio, in your own time.
Rodrigo turns, look towards Benzema, Thiago Silva. Alaba very congested there in the midfield.
And it's still humming.
Modric, referee, I think, has played the advantage there.
That's
Just
a good
checks
hit.
on the welfare of...
So therefore, we know from that the smoothing this block here needs to be changed. Now, when you're changing these, yeah, there are various ways you can do it. Some people like to stuff the can. I like to leave the can in place, but put new capacitors underneath. The new capacitors have to be at least 340 volts, because that is what mains goes up to actually. Say you have 240 volt mains, that is an RMS value, okay? Yeah, but our RMS value is smaller, but easy to measure, so that's what they use. So it has to go up to about 340 volts, so at least that, okay? At least that. So with the set apart again, you see it's here. It's there. So that has to come out, and the caps go in this place. As far as capacitor values go, this one is 275 volts, a little bit low, and it's 32 and 32. Okay, that's what I've got them, or something similar. So in they will go. I didn't seem to have any 32s, but I do have 47s, which is what I've put in there. As you can see, there 47 and 47. This is okay because the UA85 works up to 100 microfarads, so 47 is fine. If you've not got the exact value, don't worry about it. Just look at the specs of the valve and see how it will go, and put something in. Always go higher rather than lower. Okay, always go higher rather than lower. But that will do fine. So now, if we now put that like that, you see, and put the transformer back on again and try it and see what it sounds like now. It should be alright. Should be alright. I'll just tap that back onto there very quickly. So that goes back on there. Okay. So now, if I wish to plug this in now, we might even get a hum-free signal. So let's see if we do. Always the wait, isn't there? Always the wait. While the valves warm up and take their places, as it were. No, well, no, yeah.
And everyone's going
So
to
it wasn't
play
devolved.
at the maximum. All going to perform to a 10 out of 10 level to even stand the chance. And from a Manchester City point of view, they did have that chance early doors, and I can't think many back for them to score first. So we like a goal for the hosts here would raise the roof, wouldn't it? And what a second half we would be in for if so. I suppose what Lampard has done with this lineup is left options.
So there we are. So that's sorted. So very quickly as a test, I'll put the original valve back in and see if it still does it. This problem only occurs, by the way, with the Euro 4 ones quite a bit, so you do have to be careful for that. Come on. Not got all night. Come on, radio. I know you want to. Well, I hope you want to. Here it comes.
So that's a big plus for them. I mean, it's remarkable that the way that they've been able to manage the fitness of the players, and Foden, who's missed
so there we are.
matches after his appendix operation, he is here.
There we are. There it is. 2 radios, both working extremely well. Now, of course, the next thing here is to sort out the working 8-foot transformer to go onto there. And so, with that done, I'll have a look, see if I can find something. I have actually taken out that resistor there and taken the asbestos away. That's okay. Underneath, I've taken out all the Hunt's caps and replaced them, and also I've put a new 8-foot transformer, which is here. Now, it's slightly bigger, but it goes on okay instead. But what I've also done is I've done it with these connectors. These are Wago connectors. They're very good because you can actually make a good connection without soldering, and also easy to take them off as well. So if a suitable transformer comes on that's the right size, snap, 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 and out it comes, and then another one goes in its place. So at this stage, let's just see what it does now. But when it warms up, I'll tell you that it's this is also a 784M. They both were, and this one, although I had a better case, was chassis-wise was in a worse condition. So surprising how it goes, isn't it? The transformer works okay. I can hear something, but this one takes a little bit longer to warm up because it's slightly lower on the voltage, which I'm going to leave because it does work well as it is, and I don't want to take it any further. Besides, as long as the voltages aren't too low, then there won't be a problem. If the voltages are high, it could shorten the life of the valves, but otherwise, it's okay, as long as it's not too low.
Oil protest group who were convicted for causing a public nuisance after they scaled a bridge on the Dartford crossing have been given jail sentences. Morgan Troland and Marcus Decker were jailed for 3 years and 2 years 7 months respectively.
5 Live Sport.
The Friday
So there you are, that's 5 Live.
To Friday Football Social, me Aaron Paul.
Go back down the chassis.
Goal in the 92nd minute.
That's Talk Sport. That, of course, is the goal station, which I use as a test, but obviously can't leave that on for too long because, of course, I'll get in some of the powers that be at YouTube. So this one is as good as done now. So put it together, And at that stage, actually, what I'll do is I'll put them both on the bench as well, and we'll look at them together, because there are two of them after all. So why ever not? So I'll get the case, which is here, like that. That's the case. See, it's this case is in better condition, as you can see there. So this radio now goes into this case, and we'll try to again make sure it still works. And here we are now, two working radios. I'll just put the power onto this one again and see what happens. It should come on and work, by the way. They both should, but I'm just putting one on for now. These sets, on the back, by the way, the interesting comment, do not shorten the lead. That is because at the time when these came,
And there will be eyes from Manchester City. There will be eyes.
There you go, kill that a minute. That's because in the day these had on them 3 core flexes with difference, because one of them was resistive. And they were called curtain burners at the time, because that's what they used to do. So when one was shortened, excess main power went to the valves. It doesn't matter with these now, because the capacitor is into the dropper, and the resistor was put in for the EX2 as well on these. But that's how it worked then. Anyway, two of them. All I need now actually is a glass for there and a knob. But apart from that, these are done. So nice sets, I must say. Yeah, I might possibly put this set, which is better of the two, in this case. I don't know yet, but for now, they're working, and that's what counts. This is Steve Pendlebury from Steve Pendlebury's Long Stay Vintage Radio Workshop, saying goodbye, God bless, and of course, keep fixing radios. Bye bye.
From what they're playing, not only the form and the momentum.